I've done over 200 real estate deals on the island of Puerto Rico, worth tens of millions of dollars. And these are the 5 signs I look for in a property before pulling the trigger. The first thing that I look for, guys, I like to buy in areas that are on the incline, not areas that have already hit, that are already at the top of the market. I like to buy at the feet of the big developers, the ones who've already spent a whole bunch of money. I come along and I buy the small stuff that they wouldn't. I like areas where I see growth coming, but it's not fully there yet. So here are some things that I watch for. New construction happening nearby. New businesses being opened, like cafes, bakeries, even grocery stores or gyms. And I love to see the municipality investing in roads, parks, and other recreational areas for the community. And a pro tip for you guys, if you see Airbnb sneaking into what is predominantly a residential area or has been primarily a residential area, that's not a bad sign that things are going up in value. Even the people can tell you that an area is on the rise. Generally speaking, before an area gets to the peak, you're going to see other entrepreneurs move in. So small businesses again. These are just things that we've seen time and again. We've been doing this for 27 years. So when we see the artists move in, when we see the small business owners move in, that indicates to us that an area is about to go up in value. Recently, we've been investing in Rio Piedras, Puerto Rico. And when I first came to the island, Rio Piedras was completely dead. I thought that it was going to take 5 to 10 years before it would start to get better. And now we're 7 years in, and we're starting to see massive improvements in the entire neighborhood called Rio Piedras. It's right near the university. Again, when I got here in 2017, early 2018, there were no shops open. There were no coffee shops, no restaurants, no retail, and there are dozens and dozens, maybe even hundreds of vacant zombie properties. But over the last few years, we've started to see these things get renovated, and now we do see successful restaurants, and now we do see retail coming back. We certainly see the coffee shop craze as the college kids love to drink coffee. And so we started investing there a couple of years ago, and we're doing really well with it. We could have probably bought some things cheaper, but we would have had to wait 5 years for it to catch up. So we waited until the area started to improve, and then we joined the party. Guys, the best steps are always one step ahead of the herd. So had we been a little bit earlier in Rio Piedras, we might have made more money, but we waited to see other people get involved. We wanted to be safe. We like to invest where other real estate investors are already investing. That makes us feel comfortable. Number 2, if you guys have watched my content, you know that I'm in love with what's the highest and best use. So I'm constantly looking for those properties that need massive renovation, and we're always thinking about how do we buy it on the cheap and bring it up to its highest and best use. So one of the first things that I do when I'm deciding whether or not to buy something, I'm looking to see if I can change the use case, if it's going to increase the value kind of a ton, right? Like, so I can buy it as an old, nasty, decrepit, distressed office building and turn it into a Class A condominium complex for long-term housing. I look for the type of zoning so that I can change to the highest and best use. So again, I'll use the office to long-term housing thing. I want to see that the zoning allows me to do that, and I can build out something where maybe I could turn it into a hotel. Maybe I could turn it into an apartment complex. As long as the zoning will allow me to get to my higher and better use easily without having to jump through a whole bunch of hoops, then that's an indicator that I should buy that property. And we also like to look for the odd things like unused land that's a part of the property that's not being used right now. And maybe we could turn it into parking, especially on the island of Puerto Rico. Anywhere in the metro area, it seems like nobody has designed anything to include parking a car. So whenever we can buy a property that allows us to create parking, we know that we're about to hit a home run. And guys, you know this, if you follow me, we like to do what the government asks us to. So we're often looking for the highest and best use to be hospitality. So we're looking for a commercial zoning with a hospitality overlay. And when we find that, then we can put it inside of Act 60. When we put it inside of Act 60, we can get 40% tourism tax credits. Wow, what a deal, right? And anybody can do this, guys. If you're watching this video and you're a local who's thinking, oh my gosh, there's a gringo telling the locals how he's going to buy up the island. I'm not. I partner with locals on all of my deals, and we look for the highest and best use together. And together, me and the local partner, we like to put things into Act 60 and get those tax credits. And you can do it too. Along these lines, just think about this. I've given lots of content on this, but we not too long ago bought a 4-family house. It was owned by a slumlord. It was in terrible condition. No one was living in it, and we turned it into a 7-unit guest house. We stuck it through Act 60. We got 30% tax credits at the time because we thought that by going 30% instead of 40%, it was going to be quicker and we'd get the money faster. That was a bunch of baloney. Don't do that. Learn from my mistake. Always ask for the 40%, even if it's supposed to take longer. Everything takes longer in Puerto Rico. But anyways, this property was in Luquillo, and we turned it into a great flip over time. We cash flowed it as a small guest house for a few years while we got our tax credits. We then got our tax credits, cashed in, and then sold the property. And oh, by the way, we saw the realtor who sold it today, and we asked how the locals who bought it from us are doing, and they're killing it, guys. They're getting 12 to 15% annual returns, and they love the property. And guys, if you're not sure how to spot these properties, we've got a community of like-minded real estate investors and entrepreneurs that you can join for free. The link is in the description of this video, or just comment, hey, Robbie, I want the link, and I'll put it there for you, and you can come and join us. Again, it's a free community. We want to network with you. We want to talk with you. We want to do deals with you. Number 3, functional floor plans. Here's a rookie mistake that I've seen again and again, and I've even made it myself. People buying awful houses with terrible layouts because the price looks good. It's a bad move, guys. If it's got a bad layout, you can't fix it easily. Move on. There's too many good deals out there to go and fight against some Frankenstein property that's been added on again and again and doesn't have a clear path to a beautiful layout. Layout problems, they're not always fixable, and if they are, just because you can fix them doesn't mean you should fix them, because the price can just get outrageous, and it's not worth it. They'd say this: the juice ain't worth the squeeze, then don't pick the fruit. I like to avoid tiny bedrooms that can't fit a bed and don't have a closet, kitchens stuck in a hallway, bathrooms in weird spots where I can't stand up in the shower, and add-ons that look like Frankenstein literally stitched the pieces together. I want a clear flow, open living space, logical bed and bath ratios, an easy rental or resale appeal. Example, I just looked at a house in Carolina, Puerto Rico, and guys, I love Carolina, Puerto Rico. It's in a neighborhood where I'm closing on a house next week, selling it. We're making some money, and the price was right for sure. But when I got into the house, it had been added onto and added onto and added onto, and I couldn't feel the flow. They were doing retail on one side and putting up walls to rent rooms on the other side. It was an utter disaster, and I just figured it wasn't worth it. So again, if the juice ain't worth the squeeze, don't do the deal. We passed on it, even though I went there expecting to buy. I thought that at the price that they were selling, it was going to have to be pretty awful for me not to do it. Well, it was pretty awful. The floor plan, to me, was just unfixable, and I don't want to fight with it. The point is, don't buy somebody else's bad design. We've been there and done that. Again, I say this all the time. Learn from my mistakes. You don't have to bite off more than you can chew. We do great big renovations, and I don't mind moving a wall. But if the floor plan's fucked up, just pass. Just move on. And if you want to learn how to do this, come follow us inside of our Apex group. It's our premium group. The link's also in the description for that. Number 4, price is everything. You make your money when you buy. People think that the flip or the rental is where the money is made. That's wrong. You've locked in your profits the moment you close if you've bought right. I like to buy at 60 to 70% of after repaired value minus the repairs. And depending on how fast I'm going to close or where I'm going to buy the property, my number only goes down. I don't like to get above, really in Puerto Rico, above 65%, I'm stretching. In Florida, above 75%, I'm stretching. And guys, you can't buy something thinking that you're going to make your money from appreciation. Appreciation is your best friend as a real estate investor, but that's your reward for being in the game and for holding on to properties for a really long period of time. When you're a value-add real estate investor, you're buying at the best price you can get it at, locking in your profit now in today's dollars, and then you force appreciation by doing the value add, and then you can force appreciation some more by getting it rented out and cash flowing it, and your reward for holding on to it for 5, 6, 8, 10 years is this magical thing called appreciation. But I don't like to buy real estate based on the fact that it's going to appreciate. That's not even part of my calculation. That's just the reward for holding something for a really long period of time. Here's an example. I bought a small house in Rincon, Puerto Rico a few years ago, At the time I bought it, I think I paid $130,000 for it. It was such a good deal, guys. I knew that I was making money the very second that I bought it. So I pulled up and I'm sitting in front of the house, looking to the left at the house, looking at the right to the ocean. They told me it was $130,000. And before we ever got out of the car, I said, I'll take it. Now can we go see it? We went and saw it. We closed on it. We fixed it up. We've had it as a rental property all of these years. And now houses that are in the same neighborhood that are not any nicer than mine are selling for $600,000 and $700,000. And that appreciation, oh, it's oh so nice. But at the time that I bought it for $130,000, it was already worth probably $300,000 fixed up. That's what I'm talking about. You make your money when you buy. And I get the cash flow along the way, and I get that bonus, that magical appreciation. Those are the kind of deals that you want to be doing. Number 5, let me ask you something. How do you get paid on your deals? And if you don't know it before you buy, then you're gambling, you're speculating. When I'm buying something, I know what my exit or I know what my income plan is. And there's a few options. We could flip something for a profit, so that's the buy, fix, and flip. We could be buying something to rent it out for the long term. That's a buy and hold strategy. We could be doing the BRRRR method, which is going to be buy, renovate, rent, refi, repeat. Or we could just be buying something to sell it real quick to another real estate investor like you. We do that sometimes. We go to the foreclosure sales guys for 27 years. We can't renovate everything, but that's why we like to have partners like you that can come alongside of us and take on some of the heavy lift. And we partner with people who are in our Apex group. So if you're interested in that, be sure to join. But here's the point. Every property that I buy has a reason that I buy it. We have a plan going in. And if I don't see a payday, then I don't play. Here's an example. We recently closed on a foreclosure property in Aguadilla. And we thought we would fix it and sell it while we were getting it vacant. We got a contract on it where we could just sell it to a real estate investor. Well, he backed out. Now we're going to have to renovate it quick. We're going to do some content about that. So subscribe to the channel to follow that. If you're trying to build income and not just flip houses, then you need a roadmap. That's what our premium group Apex is. We buy smart deals with real plans, and we partner with people along the way.